And welcome to another episode of the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast. I've got to do a little explaining here at the beginning of this one. What I've done, John Farquhar and I, who regularly hosts this show, on Monday, John often joins me for the Secrets of Safety Dog, where we do a live. And this week, John was able to make it, and we did what I think was a great live presentation on Facebook on the CVOR channel. So what I've decided to do is to bring that interview or that episode of the Secrets of Safety Dog over to the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast, because it is very pertinent, very special as to what we do. So I just wanted to let you know that this was taped live on the other channel. So, but I thought it was such a great interview. John and I get talking about Driver Inc. and listen till the end, because there is something near the end that just very well could shock you. All right, so I just want you to do that and listen to the end. And other than that, hey, you see changed my background. You all know I green screen. If you enjoy Christmas, have a very Merry Christmas. This is the last episode of the year. If you don't celebrate Christmas, but you get some time off over what we call holidays, have a great holiday. And I wish all of you, please, a successful and healthy new year. And if you're getting value from this channel, please click like and subscribe. Got to do that. All right. All the best to you all. And let's get on with this live presentation. Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Secrets of Safety Dog. We've got John Farquhar with us.
Yay!
Whoops, hang on here. I hit the wrong button. There we go. There. And John brought his brother. See his brother in the background?
Over this shoulder here. Over here. Get over there. Get the right finger pointing in the right direction. He's busy on the phone right now. He's ordering pizza.
Pizza, yep. So, hey, John, we're going to talk about just two quick things today. And sure. I do believe this will be the last live episode of this year.
Yes, I know. It's hard to believe it's over with this year. My gosh.
So sad.
Yeah.
But look, I did bring a friend with me. I just wanted to show you this here. We brought this.
Jingle bells,
what happened to him?
Bells, jingle
all of a sudden it got small. There we go. Adjust that. Put the lock button on it. There we go. Yes, jingle all the way. I mean, I've trimmed my beard now.
I see that. Yes. No, it's still going. Still going. I'm going to let her go. I want to get her down to here. So, yeah.
I was thinking about it, but nah. I'm going to keep her tight. And then
keep her tight. There you go.
Go to the summer cut in the summer. But
there you go.
Hey,
there you go.
Did want to talk about two things.
Okay, perfect.
Two. Got to get two.
Yep.
Two things.
Number one.
ELDs, very quickly.
Yes.
And then we're going to talk about TruckNews and Driver Inc., that article. So let me bring up, sorry. Of course, I want to make sure, okay, yes. Before I did that, I wanted to make sure I had the right thing on the screen, and look at that, I do.
Look at that. It is the list of certified ELDs.
And let me get rid of that. There, make it bigger. So, yes, we got a list of certified ELDs. And I guess the bad news, since last week, there's nobody new on here.
Oh, really?
So Fleet Complete got their device, both Android and iPhone. And then Trimble, which is, of course, PeopleNet.
Yep.
I guess it looks like it's the same device, but what is it, Android or something?
Yeah, it says they're implemented on Android. Yeah.
Where do you?
So
I forget where it
is. Fourth
right
column.
Here.
Yep.
Right there, yes, implemented on Android. So they got one of their other devices working properly. So, unfortunately, still and I suspect, I don't know if we're going to see a change before the end of the year. These things, where's all OrbCom? Where's all of people?
Omnitrax.
Not PeopleNet. Omnitrax.
Omnitrax.
And
Yeah, big one.
oh God, brain fart. TKT Solutions sells.
Oh, Geotab.
Geotab.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
A shout out
Names
to
that
our-
we're expecting to see on here. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. How about the one from the U.S. that a lot of people utilize? Keep Trucking.
Keep trucking. Yeah,
So,
not on here.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how this list grows. Who's going to be on it?
Yeah, and anyways, it is. It's going to be interesting. Now, so is that all we want to say about ELDs?
Sure. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I was really hoping we'd have another one or two. Maybe there'll be something come in over the holidays.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it in the new year. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for ELDs, and I did put the link to this website in the show notes. So anybody
Perfect.
who wants to follow along, I usually check it once a week. I don't know about you, Johnny.
Yep. It's funny. I usually do it on Fridays, not Mondays. I don't know why. I should do it on Mondays if we're going to chat about it. So it makes sense.
Well, and that's the only reason I happen to do it on Mondays.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Actually, be honest with you. So.
But just in case anything changes, and nothing's changed.
Yep.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up, and it's funny that we did a trucking risk and insurance podcast recently.
Yes, we did.
On this very subject. Now, let me ask you, do you think John G. Smith is following our topics and chose to write about it after he heard us?
I'd like to say yes, but unfortunately, no. He was in attendance to the same like webinar that I was, and it was like, darn, that would have been a great coincidence if he was saying that. So maybe we'll just have to get him on this podcast and see what he has to say. So
that would be good. But
Yeah.
it is funny. You and I did talk about it, and then John G. Wrote about it. And hey, it is a real topic of concern at the moment, I think.
Yes.
For everybody.
Yes.
And there was a couple of things in this article that I wasn't aware of. First of all, let me see if I can find it here where here it is. I quote, "It's good to hear we're going to get some enforcement finally," said John Farquhar of Summit Risk Solutions. Hey!
Ooh! I got quoted. Uh-oh.
Yes, you did, by John G. Smith. So, I agree with you. It is really good that there is some attention on here. And there's here is our minister.
Of transportation, yes.
I won't say anything.
No. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. He doesn't look like a
He
trucking
looks
guy.
like a movie star.
He does. He does.
Somebody famous.
But
I'm not going to go there.
No, I'm not going to go there either. He rode a bicycle, I can tell you that.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yes, he rode a bicycle and wore a suit all the time. Yeah.
And I'm not really familiar with him, and doesn't even give me his name here.
No.
And I know his name, but it escapes me at the moment. But this is a really important subject. So, John, there's a couple of points in this thing, though, that so the link to the article is in the show notes.
Yep.
So, whoops, what did I just do there? I didn't want to do that.
There's a little bit of a twist here with what's going on. So I was in attendance to this presentation with the Fleet Safety Council last Thursday, and ESDC was there presenting. It was 25-minute presentation.
Who's ESDC, in case somebody doesn't know?
That is Employment Social Development Canada,
right?
Which is an extension of Labor Canada. Okay. So and they deal with your payroll taxes, CPP, unemployment or employment insurance, stuff along that line. So all to do with workers and payroll programs. So anyway, they presented, and it's been known for a long time that they have been, behind the scenes working on this Driver Inc. problem and dealing with it. So during this presentation, they spoke about, as it listed in the article, 40 fleets that they've been in conversation with, talking about, educating and whatnot. And all 40 of these fleets are Driver Inc. models,
Okay.
and they admit that they want to get rid of it.
40 fleets. I don't know how many customers you have, but over the years, John, I've worked with, I don't know, 150 different trucking companies, I would bet. And I would say that well over 100 of them are Driver Inc. or some portion of Driver Inc. So for the federal government to only know of 40 is shocking.
Well, so let me elaborate a little bit. That's 40 motor carriers that volunteered for the conversation.
Okay,
yes,
good.
so sorry. Yeah, so they weren't necessarily picked or picked on. It was thrown out there, and I guess these 40 had volunteered to say, hey, yeah, I want to get involved in the conversation, because they were informed there would be no fines, no penalties whatsoever. This was an educational period. So, but ESDC says come January 2022, which is, by my books, less than 2 weeks away, no more education. It will come down to what they call AMPs, which are penalties, fines, okay. Which the government, administrative monetary penalties, they call it. So that's going into place as of January. So you have a chance to clean it up yourself. Now, I really got to throw in here a curveball, because I apologize. I can't remember the lady's name that did the presentation. She seemed to be very knowledgeable, because I did ask her several questions, but she made it very clear that there is a big difference between employee and self-employed. And the curveball, and the curveball here is the word owner operator.
Hold it. Don't go there yet. Because I do want to talk about that part of the article.
Yep. Okay.
But what is the problem without going to the owner operator model?
Yep.
What's the problem with the Driver Inc. model?
Well, what's happening here is they are adding the owner operator into that Driver Inc. model.
Yeah, no, forget about.
But from our definition of what you and I know, Driver Inc., this is where you have a driver who has no truck, drives for a company, but he is self-employed in his eyes. He is maybe an incorporated entity. He's a contract driver, but he is dedicated to that carrier, which in the eyes of ESDC is a driver, an employee. So you cannot be an owner operator per se, is what they're calling it. They're not calling it Driver Inc. They're saying you're either an employee or an owner operator. So, and so what they're trying to do is get this misclassification of job title cleared up and people on the right path. So basically anybody that drives and has no truck is an employee of the company regardless.
Well, I mean, and I wanted to quote somebody, because they left a great comment on one of my posts.
Okay.
And of course I can't find it right now because I didn't
never
think
fails.
about it. But he said it's really unusual that he's never known any other industry where I can drive somebody else's truck, move somebody else's freight, be under direction of somebody else, and not pay for the fuel, not pay for anything, and yet call myself self-employed. He said it so much better.
Right.
It was just I thought, oh, this guy's hit it right on the head, and I can't find it. It was on Facebook.
Yeah.
But,
oh, wow.
So anyways, there is the Driver Inc. model. And so you're saying the government of Canada is finally going to be looking at cracking down.
Big time. And apparently they have a very large, you use the word large, enforcement team.
Oh.
So I don't know how big large is. Doesn't give us a definition, but it is a large team of enforcement.
It would be nice because, of course, the carriers that have the employee model are all or frequently saying that it's unfair to them that they've got to compete against these people, and these people have a 10 to 25% opportunity, let's call it. So if that's true, and I'm not smart enough to know that that is true, but if that is true, then yeah, that's unfair competition. It should be fixed. Now, let's
Big time.
transition.
Yes.
Okay,
So
the bug in the ointment, or whatever you want to
yes.
say. Like this is
Yeah,
the piece
exactly.
that my mind went, what?
Yeah, exactly. So an owner operator as we know it, and I would hazard a guess the majority of the industry knows it as an owner operator is a driver who owns his own truck, maybe his trailer as well, and leases or contracts himself, herself, to a motor carrier. So therefore, they wouldn't have their own authority and insurance. They would be contracted to a carrier and work on behalf of that carrier. Now, they would provide all the needs to take care of their own vehicle, whether it be buying the fuel, paying for the payments, maintenance, stuff along that line. But they would be dedicated to that motor carrier in order to get the freight and make money. Well, ESDC says, nay, Jose. It is an owner operator has to be a fully functioning entity on its own. Therefore, they're saying it's all about the tools, and the tools are more than just the truck. And they're saying you need to have your own operating authority. You need to have your own insurance. You need to pay for everything separately. You need to be able to work for multiple clients, do what you want, when you want, say yay, say nay, and you are not bound by an agreement or an exclusive agreement with one motor carrier. So in essence, you become a motor carrier. Exactly. Kaboom.
Well,
So this really causes a problem.
Exactly, because first of all, there's several problems that come to mind. But the first one is if they stick to that, and I'm saying if the federal government sticks to that definition, because I'm sure CTA and the OTA are very concerned about it.
Would we think? I'd love to hear what they've got to say about this.
Well, I mean, I'm not a member of either organization, but I would gotta believe that they are very concerned about that enforcement.
Right.
What's going to happen? Like, can you imagine? Well, first of all, everybody out there who needs CVOR, go to CVOR.ca and get help there.
But, Yep. Exactly. Chris can help you out get that hooked up.
Well, I can't help them out because I can help them get a CVOR. But there's a missing piece here. There's this thing called insurance. How easy, in your opinion, is it to get trucking insurance for a new company at the moment?
It is not easy at all, particularly a new company and particularly with a small operation. Somebody that's one truck, even up to 10. You could have 20 trucks, it doesn't matter. But if you're new to the industry, you're going to pay large because you have no history of performance. And a lot of insurance companies won't touch you. So the only insurer that I know that would be facility insurance. And that's going to be outrageously expensive. I don't even know how it would be sustainable.
5 times the going rate of insurance. Now, I know because my background, and you might be able to speak about your former employer, but my former employer, I still know people there. They would accept a new company, but there's ifs or qualifications there. If they have been in business for a significant period of time, I think it's 2 years or longer, they would accept 1, maybe 2 trucks at the most, and keep that owner operator capped for 2 years at that level. So I think you've got to be in business, I think it's 3 years while I'm thinking about it. And they're going to keep you capped at 2 trucks. And it's going to be regular market insurance, but it's going to be on the high side of regular market.
Very much so. The previous employer I worked with, we just didn't even touch anybody under 10 trucks. Usually under 15, weren't even interested. So, I know there are other big insurers out there that won't touch trucks under 10.
When you say your previous employer, are you talking about the one that was before it got sold, or are you talking about your last employer?
Well, I guess my last employer, which would be the one that got sold. So,
Okay.
Yeah, because
just
I have a
wanted-
new employer, right? So Summit Risk Solutions is my new employer.
Well, I understand that, but no,
Yeah.
I was,
So
you used to work for that company that was out in Cambridge, I think. Weren't they located there?
are you thinking the big Z?
No, I'm thinking after that, you went and worked for
Oh,
that Cowan-owned company.
no, well that's the guarantee. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was owned by Cowan. Yeah, the Cowan family owned that. Yeah, so, but yeah, even when I worked at Zurich, they had a program division where they did look at small 1-2 owner operators and whatnot, but it wasn't a big program. So,
So
but
anyway,
yeah, but it becomes a challenge. You will pay big money to do that. So it'll be very interesting to see how this is going to play out. So, because this is going to cause a lot of havoc. So now, with that said, this doesn't mean that you cannot operate this way. You can. You, as an owner operator in the existing model that is today, ESDC will allow it. It's not a problem. You can still do it. But you will not be classified as an owner operator. You will not be classified as self-employed. You will be classified as an employee. So that means there will be payroll deductions that need to be taken by the carrier. And the trick will be, how do you figure that out when you're paying for the truck, paying for the fuel, probably deductions coming off for insurance plates, blah, 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 all these good things. How do you determine what your wages would be? Because you don't want to tax your gross revenue. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how they're going to figure this all in and
Well,
what this happens. So.
and the other part of it is, of course, as an owner operator, they have expenses and they get to deduct those expenses as a corporation or as a company.
Correct.
If they're no longer an owner operator, or sorry, if they're no longer self-employed,
Right.
how do you manage these employment expenses is what they would be
Exactly.
referred to.
Exactly. Yeah. That'll be the
just
challenge.
A cluster is in the
exactly.
making.
Yeah. So one last thing I want to throw in here is this large enforcement team. So ESDC previously worked on complaints only. That's the only time that they would come out, see you and whatnot. As of the beginning of 2022 in January, it will not be based on complaints. It will be what they call a proactive move. They know that the industry is full of these entities. It will not be educational. It will be penalty based. And they're basically going to start knocking on doors and say, guess who we are? We're here to look at your books and determine what you're doing.
Well, it's pretty easy to find owner operator fleets. Open up any industry magazine that's advertising. So that would be a bad way. It's not as easy to find the Driver Inc. fleet. So
No, they're not really waving a flag going, hey, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. No. But I do, this is going to be interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there is a way, I forgot about this. The ESDC said that they can pick out the Driver Inc. fleets. So they're working with the Ministry of Transportation. So they have access to CVOR records. So the CVOR records will specify how many trucks you have and how many drivers you have listed on your CVOR. Then they go back to the employment records, which you have to file on an annual basis, which will tell how many employees do you have. And they said a lot of the Driver Inc. model companies only report the office staff as employees, not their drivers. So that'll be the first red flag that they'll utilize and go, oh, okay, well, let's go check these guys out and find out why a discrepancy.
John, I know some companies that have self-employed dispatchers, self-employed safety people.
Yes, yes. Yep.
So they've got, a handful of employees, mostly family members, and the rest, everybody else is self-employed.
That's right. So this is going to be very interesting. There's no doubt about it. I'm curious to see how this plays out. We're sharing the news, but I don't know what's going to happen because there's such a twist in this from what we know as a model to what they're saying is going to be the model.
I remember when I was working for an employer and we were members of TNT, or sorry, my employer was TNT. We were members of OTA, and this is back to Barry Montague days, so a long time
I remember
ago.
that name.
And even then, he said, by the definitions of CRA, owner-operators don't meet the criteria. So we've known that this was a problem. However, the Driver Inc. model has since matured or just blown up, I think.
Yeah, it has
And
gotten out of hand. Yeah.
it really is a problem, and it needs to be addressed. I guess the government is saying, though, that it's too hard. They can't enforce it on one hand when this other category as well doesn't meet our definition.
Right. Yeah.
So
we're going to wipe everybody with the regulation brush and say, we're going to do y'all now.
I wonder what, really do wonder what the OTA is thinking right now, because their OTA, CTA were the ones that went to the government and said, hey, this Driver Inc. model really needs to be fixed. We can't fix it.
Yes.
But it's created this unlevel playing field.
Yep.
And now the extra effect, they threw the owner-operators in the mix.
Exactly.
So
and keep in mind, ESDC, as the C stands for, is Canada. It is a federal body. So this is clear across Canada. This is not provincial based or provincial implemented. It's clear across Canada. So it's going to hit every province.
You know, I've been promoting that the government should crack down on Driver Inc. as well, because if it's true that the OTA says over $1 billion, billion, that's $1,000 million.
Yep, that's a lot of money
Being collected as it should be if these people were classified correctly.
Correct.
Throw that in with all the money that the governments of all levels have spent due to this pandemic. They've got to crack down. They've got to increase the revenue sources. So let's enforce the rules that are on the books. I totally agree with that, and I applaud the government for finally, if maybe it's not too late, but if not late, but finally getting on it. I'm just very much afraid of throwing the owner-operators in the same group. What the ramifications to trucking, because of course we didn't talk about the double vaccine mandate that's coming for truck drivers crossing the border. Just another, what the hell is going to happen?
Exactly. So because that's just as a quick update, because you brought it up. I just read this morning that the Sixth Circuit Court has agreed with OSHA and Biden. So they're saying any employer over 100 employees must be vaccinated, and that's coming into place in January. So they're now all the people that are upset with this are now taking it to the I believe the U.S. Supreme Court to appeal it. And so we'll see where it goes from there.
But of course, that's only going one way. That's entering the states. The Canadian government has said the same rule applies coming into the country. And hey, another question now that we got off topic and got onto this one. They've taken away the rule that if you are only in the States for 72 hours or less, you don't need a negative test. Right. Does this mean a truck driver's got to get tested every time they come to enter Canada?
No, they're still exempt under the essential worker mandate. So,
yay.
But I think rumor has it that they were going to pull that short exemption with the Omicron virus that's going on right now. So they're trying to. I just read this morning, Government of Canada said, look at. Don't go for non-essential travel. Just stay put. Don't get stuck. You're going to be in trouble. So and leave it to the essential workers to do what they need to do and keep the goods flowing and stuff. So we'll see.
I'm just speechless.
It's a crazy 2021, a crazy end to 2021, and it's only going to continue in 2022.
And it's going to give us some topics to talk about in 22.
Yes. I look forward to seeing what happens over the next 2 weeks that we get to natter about.
2 weeks. Holy smokes. This is going to be months. Anyway, Johnny, to your brother, he's still on the phone ordering that pizza
Yeah,
for delivery?
I heard him talking there. He was actually he was done with the pizza, and now he's calling the bake shop, ordered up some tarts and cookies for after pizza.
Well, and this is all for delivery on Boxing Day, right? Because
Yes,
he's
because he
gotta-
can't. He's not going to be able to do anything with it while he's flying around.
Yeah.
Get his order in now. So
Yeah, so that's good. Hey, buddy, Merry Christmas. And,
Merry Christmas to you, Chris.
Happy New Year. I
Happy
probably
New
won't
Year.
talk to you.
It is going to be a crazy Happy New Year. There's no doubt about that.
I know our gathering, I think, is 6 people. It might only be 4.
Yep. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 and a half.
5 and a half. A newborn?
5 and a half. Yep. He's 8 months. No, 7 months old. So
There you go.
So just immediate family. We've been closer. We're our own little bubble. Been for like that for a couple of years, and that's it. Yeah, my mom. We were going to do something with my mom, but there's been a number of outbreaks in her region, so we said stay put. Don't come near us. And she goes, I don't want to come up. We'll leave it alone and go from there.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways, all the best, John. And let's hope
awesome. You too.
22 is
Yeah,
flipping
hope.
awesome.
Let's hope.
Okay. All right. And that's
Take
it.
care, brother.
That's it for this week on the Secrets of Safety Dog. Thanks. A little longer. Holy smokes, 31 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.